Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. Well, you know, February is Black History Month here in the United States of America, and I was inspired by Bessie Coleman, who was the first African American pilot to hold an international pilot's license. Not only was she African American, but she was a female, and she was the very first one. And so I was inspired to create this cute little airplane, and what's so fun about it is it actually has a moving propeller. And I'm going to show you how to make your own airplane to honor Bessie Coleman right now. For this project, I got my work surface, of course, and I'm going to be using duct tape. I've got two different colors here. I'm going to be using a cork. Now, if you can't find a cork, you can also use one of those marshmallows that you can get from the crafting stores, those little white marshmallows. I have a push pin. This is very, very important if I want to make my propeller go around and around. A small bead with a hole, a regular size popsicle stick, 3 tongue depressors. These are regular 6-inch tongue depressors. A pin. This is very important because this is going to be my propeller base. Now, you can get a pin that has either a little bead on the end or what's called a T-pin, or in this case, I'm just going to use a regular straight pin. I'm also going to be using an X-Acto knife, and I'm going to be using a hot glue gun. So just make sure that you're careful, because you know those things are dangerous. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start by taking my popsicle stick, and right about the middle here, I'm just going to take my little pin here and put it right in the center, and I'm going to push down as hard as I can so that it comes through and makes a hole. I'm just going to push it through once, go back and forth just a little bit, and that's just going to loosen it up and make a nice little hole there for me. That's for my propeller. Now I don't need that push pin anymore. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small piece of duct tape, and in this case I'm going to use green, and I'm just going to cover my cork. Now, if you don't want to use duct tape, you don't have to use duct tape. This is about a 4-inch strip, and you can see I just covered it up just like that. You could use tape if you wanted to, but I mean like a washi tape or something like that. But you can also use paint or paper or whatever you want to cover it, or just leave it plain. Now I've got a couple little strips here of duct tape as well, and I'm just going to use those to cover and make it fancy. One strip there, and another strip here. This is just because I want to give it a little extra pizzazz. Like that. Now, I'm going to take my tongue depressor, and in this case, I'm going to be using the blue one. I've also got these purple ones. Those are going to be my wings. And what I want to do is just place my cork right about the top front part there. And then I want to take my popsicle stick and just use it as a measure. And then with my finger, just mark where that lined up at the end. And now what I want to do is very carefully take my X-Acto knife, and I just want to score it right where my finger was. So what I mean by score is I'm just going to take my little knife here and just pull it along so that when I bend this, it'll break nice and even, just like that. So all I did was score it. I didn't cut it, I just scored it. And I can come back with my X-Acto knife, just trim that up a little bit, get rid of any little excess. I can do the same thing on this side too. Just get rid of any little excess. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is take my hot glue gun, and I'm going to glue just a little bit right here for my cork. Just going to place my cork down there so that it's right at the front end. And then I'm going to take my back piece. This is going to become my rudder. Now, that's a little bit long, so I'm going to cut it down. Let's see, figure about that much. So just going to measure it, eyeball it. And once again, score it like I did before. And break it. Now if it breaks uneven like that, all I have to do is come back and score it a little bit more. Now you can use scissors, but the problem with the scissors is that they need to be really good, strong scissors. You can't use just like a little pair of kid scissors or something like that. They just won't be strong enough. Okay, there we go. Got that nice and scored. And now I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put a line of glue along the back end here and on the bottom here. And just slide that right up and in place. There we go. So now I got my rudder. And now I just need to put my wings on. So I'm going to take a little bit of my glue here, put it in the middle, place my wing, and now do the top wing. Do the same. Put a little glue down and flip that over right in between and line it up with the bottom one there. And now it's time for the propeller. So for the propeller, I'm taking this pin, this straight pin, and remember, again, you can use one that has a ball on the end, or if you want to, you can use one that's called a T-pin. Those are great. And I'm just going to place it through that hole. And then I'm going to take my bead, and the bead is going to help to serve as a kind of like central point for this to turn around so that it's not tight and makes it nice and smooth in the turning. Okay, just take my pin and stick it very gently into my cork. Now, if that's too hard and it hurts your fingers, you might want to use a thimble on your finger to push that through. But then you can see, watch what happens. This is really cool. It turns really, really well. And now, if you need to, you can just put it face down and give it a little push, and that'll lock that in really nice and tight. But that's all there is to making that propeller go round and round. And there you have it, your own Bessie Coleman airplane. For more ideas that'll make you take off in flight, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com.